Good day, man.
You, one strawberry milkshake, please. Oh, I hope you don't have a fire back there to put out. If so, I'll come back another time.
I'm sure the fire can wait, Commandant. One strawberry milkshake coming right up.
Hey everybody, Brandon Jones here. I got Michael Huber.
Hello.
Who's a big fan
Yes.
of Wolfenstein and a big fan of Wolfenstein The New Order, which is getting a sequel called Wolfenstein The New Colossus.
Yes.
Which we both played at E3. So we've played the demo where you're in a wheelchair running around, which you have not seen before, which you are finally seeing now. We got to capture that demo.
Nice.
So I got to replay that level, ran through it a lot faster.
Yeah.
Definitely noticed that there was a lot of freedom to it. Like I definitely like kind of
Yeah.
flew through directly this time because before I was like, I'm gonna go through every single hallway, and this time it was a little bit easier because I knew what to expect.
Well, the radiation traps, and then trying to get up there was like some puzzle stuff trying to get up the whatever you call
ramps,
them, the
yeah.
ramps and thing. Yeah.
People shooting at you from all sorts of weird directions.
Yeah.
I was getting a little bit more stealth kills this time because like I knew enemy placement, so I was like, okay, now I know what this hallway is. But great introduction to the story. I love that we see Anya like right away. I love that like we get to put the two of them back together. It definitely feels like a family because in a story like this, it can definitely feel like one man against the world, and that's kind of where they want you to be. But at the same time, you definitely have people supporting you, old characters that you know from New Orders, new characters that come into Last Colossus, New Colossus, which brings me to the new stuff.
Okay.
So the level that I played was called Roswell and is just outside of Roswell, New Mexico. And I have to infiltrate Area 52.
Oh my god.
And it was if you saw the diner shot from the Wolfenstein trailer at E3, this was that street. So you're in America, you're in a basically main street on New Mexico,
yeah,
and tons of eye candy. So we start out. We're delivering a package. Maybe I'll back away from that specific spoiler of like what the point of the mission, what you're doing. But you're carrying very precious cargo and walking down the street. So you have this object, but I just went up to like every single poster, every single window. There's a great conversation where two Nazis were talking to two Klan members. And
so disturbing. And
they were like, and the Klan members are like, well, Danke schön. He's like, no, Danke schön. And he's like,
I've heard enough. No more. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm still practicing.
As Blazkowicz, I don't want to get discovered, but like I'm just standing there holding this thing, like listening to their conversations. You know, huge Nazi party. So I get to the end of the street, and there's all the soldiers walking by, and confetti is slowly floating to down in the air. You know, big Nazi warplanes go flying by with streamers, and like chemtrails. But you see all the people all cheering, for the parade, and can just kind of get a slice of like daily life, which they like didn't necessarily get into. Everything was kind of blown out in New Order. A lot of the places that you went to, and even in the DLC was just like a stronghold. It was like a very specific area. You got to see like a little bit of that neighborhood, and so it was nice like going into an area where
people are living.
They just like don't shoot anybody, like don't get in trouble here. And they actually maybe hinted that like you could maybe cause some trouble here, but they were like, just for the sake of this demo, don't do that. But and then I get to meet Milkshake Man. I get to meet Strawberry Milkshake, who goes in and I don't know if this was specifically shown at E3, if they just cut straight to Milkshake Man, but when you walk in that diner, there's a mother with her daughter, or with her son, and she's asking like, what did you learn at school today? And the kid's like, I don't know, just stuff. And she's like, you need to learn German. Like, it's very important. Like you can't not, you got to do your schoolwork. They're very serious about that. And Milkshake Man comes in, and she's like, hey, I would like a milkshake. And she's like, okay, and just grabs the kid and walks out, So, like, different slices of life. You see people on the street that are, like, very into the new regime. I will totally play along. This is great. Happy to be alive. Yeah. And then you have this mother who's kind of like, okay, I'll play along, and I'll teach my kid what my kid needs to learn to survive in this world. But, like, I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I am not going to be in a situation that's bad. Again, I have all this gameplay. They didn't really specify, like, please don't show this, please don't talk about this. So, like, stuff went down. Like, that Milkshake Man does not make it out of that diner. And you meet the owner of the diner, who is a conspiracy theorist. And so he brings you back into his room, and he's got his whole idea about what's going on. You got Area 51 and 52 and 56 and 48. And they are all interconnected with tunnels. And we meet more characters, actually, before I am sent on this mission. And it's the one thing that was blindsided by when I played New Order that I was not expecting is this hub area, which I would grow to love, and these people that live there, and experiencing like how they live and their room, and just through the context of this home, and like just bits of lines of dialogue they have here and there, things they say directly to me, to other characters.
Going to sleep, playing the
world
original Wolfenstein.
Slowly, this slowly starts to come into shape. And so we're even getting more of that now, that this is not just a character, it's not Saints Row, where like this guy's done for comedic effect, we're like, I believe in aliens, like I really believed this person, and how he was willing to help us, the information that he had, theories that he had, and even just knowing me, recognizing me as the war hero that I was, and just kind of like freaking out, and then sending me on my way, and then I go to do the rest of the mission. But I want to rewind a little bit, because I skipped past the introduction to this area. So you've seen the gal with the afro that was in the trailer.
Yep.
The sassy gal who's got her compatriot, who I believe was at the table when we were planning this stuff. But also at the table, potential spoilers, if you saw the video from the trailer and the demos from E3 and you heard Huber talking about it, he had some questions about E3 that I will answer right now. So if you're like, I kind of liked what I saw at E3 and I'm good, I'm going to buy the game, I don't need to know more, then be on your way. The game comes out October 27th. Thank you for watching. At the table was the Frau's daughter, who joins the Resistance.
Nice.
And that was something that you kind of predicted, that you were like, I think that's where we're going. Like the end of the demo, she gives her this weapon and it's like, you need to be a Nazi. You know, and it's like, I love, she's like, wait, but Mom, you said you released them.
Yes.
You lied. And she's like, well, you lied when you said you weren't going to eat sweets anymore. And so like they have this biting relationship.
So pumped.
You could predict that she's probably going to leave and join us. So she's dressed a little differently and is seated at the table, and is like going to offer whatever information that she can. But it was great. The gal with I'm guessing is kind of like this de facto leader of your new group. Tells her to just get the hell out of the room. And after they leave, PJ's like, I mean, you can trust her. She's doing her best. And she's like, she's a Nazi.
Yeah.
And she's in our base right now. Not cool. More uneasy alliances.
Wow.
Again, this dynamic. I'm dying to get to know these people a little bit more. It was really just a cutscene, and then okay, you're on your way. And then when I actually got gameplay in the Roswell section, I was on this. I was in this area on this street, and then this guy smuggles me into this base that I need to get aboard a train and then take this item that I have and deliver it to a specific location. So I got to go through a base. I got to take the train. Once I get on the train, I light the turbo boosters, and then it's GoldenEye, baby. You're going like car by car, the thin hallways. That shot you saw from the trailer with that awesome shotgun, boom, 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 going by, had that. Some of the bigger, kind of mech characters had these lasers that, like, when you would take them out, would drop them. And what was great was, I believe in New Order, when you picked up a big heavy gun, you couldn't reload that. It was kind of all or nothing. It was like, when you run out of ammo, you drop that and then go grab another one. Yeah. Now, when I had this big, powerful laser, if I killed another guy with it and he dropped a laser, I just walk over that and it refills this guy. So I was carrying that for a while, and certainly if you go into a train that has a long hallway and all these enemies are coming at you, it's just like, and like lighting them all on fire.
Does it incinerate them, like blow them up?
Yeah, they blow into all sorts of pretty sparks. Yeah. But does a little damage to them too. So it's not just like it's not like right when you hit them it zaps them. Like you got to hold it there for a little bit. Yeah. So you can just do a little bit of damage. I would zap a couple people and they would manage to get behind cover and I have to go and take them out. But once I would get aboard the train, now the train's moving and I got to get back to the top of the train. So this tunnel is flying by because the train has like rocket engines like zapping it down the tunnel. So like as I'm like going along the top of the tunnel and trying to stealth through and take people out, like this, again, just it would not have. Trains could not move that fast in the original Xbox, is what I'm saying. Like definitely taking advantage.
And the
just
scenery
like how much can we
you,
crank this up? You're in a tunnel, so it's just like the tunnel going by. And then I arrive where I'm trying to get to. I actually noticed. I had the first appointment of the day, so I don't know how people fared later on in the day, but I noticed a lot of the people in the room actually didn't finish it. And it was one thing that they said at E3 that they're still adjusting the difficulty. And so at E3, they didn't say this at the demo I went to today, but at E3 they said, like, you might want to dumb the difficulty down a little bit, just to, like, experience it. Like, when you're at home, like, challenge yourself. But, like,
I remember,
if you're on the clock, we got people coming in at 11:30. We'd like to get you out of here.
At E3, I put it on normal, and I died a couple times.
Yeah, so I dropped it a little bit and ran into some trouble a lot of times with resource gathering. Like, I would like drop down on my pistol and run out of ammo, and I would kill like 3 or 4 guys and then get machine gun ammo, and then that was only enough to maybe take out 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like diminishing returns on resources.
Totally.
And so I actually, by the end of the game, when I realized it came by, like, okay, 10 minutes, everybody, 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, I gotta just hustle through this. And so the very end, I finally get to place this thing, and now I just got to escape, and this huge mech robot comes walking into this room, giant doors open up, this big thing, just like 4 stories tall, comes in,
God.
and I run right by it. I'm just like, okay, later, you know, like I gotta get the end cutscene, and so get to the end of that segment.
He wasn't a boss; he was just a normal enemy.
He was a boss, but I didn't need to kill him.
Oh,
I just had to like get by him. So I kind of baited him to come in the room, and then just ran the long way around this big room and like went through the door that he came in.
Funny.
And of course, he's, you know, there's other guys shooting at me. And,
Yeah.
So I feel like I got a little bit of everything. Like it was difficult. I definitely had to scrounge around for resources, which might frustrate some people. I know some people are like, "Wow, I hit that X button a lot," you know, or that square button, just like constantly
Picking up health,
running
picking
around,
up the armor, I remember, and all the ammo. Yeah.
But I kind of like the set dressing. Like it makes sense where you find armor. Like the last, I think the last car that you get into is a residential car on the train. And so you have all of these compartments, like one after one, of bunk beds, and so there's lots of helmets and pieces of armor in there.
Nice.
And that shotgun, I got to, like, I don't know if that was in New Order?
Yes. You could dual wield.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
2 giant shotguns. Yeah.
I think there was, how did dual wielding work in New Order? I think they might have updated that. I think you can actually like manually, while you have them out, like go into your ammo and pick your hand. So if you want to like not just change ammo by like, oh, I just picked that up. If you want to like, okay, now I want to have 2 shotguns.
Yeah.
You can like not just pick like I think before you would pick the 2 shotgun option.
Yeah.
And now you can actually manually go to each hand and do the dial.
Oh, okay.
I want that in that hand and that in that.
So you do like machine gun, pistol,
Yeah.
or cool.
But whereas I, again, was just I wanted to get to the end of this real bad. So I was just like racing through. I wasn't doing a lot of experimentation with weapons. Those are the 2 weapons that I recognized.
Only
that were,
question
like,
I have,
a feature of that level that weren't in the one at E3.
The only thing I didn't like about New Order, the only thing, was the skill progression, because it forced you to play a way that you didn't necessarily want to play. It's like get 20 stealth kills and then you get like plus 5% health, or you know, get 30 headshots with the pistols. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna grind this out, use the pistol the whole time. Do we know if that's back?
I didn't. That's an excellent question. Yeah, it was not indicative in the demo
Okay.
that we got. It definitely. I think like I said, I replayed the stuff that we did at E3. The Roswell section really felt like it was a 50-50 split between like world building. You got the cutscene, and then got this environment that like is not combat, that you really just want to go around and explore it, and then like you know, a pretty exhausting slog of just like trying to get
Enemies.
through, you know, like get through that station, get aboard the train, get to the front of the train, get off the train, get into the base, do what you got to do, get out, and just loved. Again, the stakes, because it's like I didn't think we were getting Blazkowicz back. You know, potential spoilers about like the way, you know, the first game ended, and I wasn't really sure how we were going to continue the story, because like they do have a victory at the end of Wolfenstein, but again, this is a huge enemy that they're facing, because the Nazis did win the war. They did basically like almost take over the entire world, and so it definitely feels like something where like they could have significant victories in this, and we could even get another Wolfenstein after that. And so I think they did a good job of connecting me to these characters, making it feel believable, you know, having funny moments about when you first meet the Doctor, and he's like your schmeckle doesn't work, and Nazis are blowing up behind him. Like, so there is some comedy, but like I definitely felt even when the guy was going off about aliens, and they make a point to say that it's not aliens, like that's not what's in Area 52, and the conspiracy guy's like pissed. He's like, I'm pretty sure it's aliens, and Blazkowicz like, it's not. We know it's not. But then that could be a red herring. You know, maybe you could get all the way.
My
to the end
first
there,
thought was
then,
like alien weapon technology. That's what I thought, or some kind of weapon tech.
But we saw some crazy weapon tech in New Order, and they hint at that a little bit. We'll get into some more crazy weaponry, and that's kind of like where we were going. The first thing that we played at E3 was the beginning of Wolfenstein. I believe they said this was a little over halfway through.
Okay, wow.
When you finally actually start to get into some residential areas.
Jeez.
But yeah, the first game was exhausting, man. Like I really wanted to finish that by the GOTY deliberations that year, and I remember by the time I got to the moon, I was just like, okay, here we go, okay.
Long.
So
pretty long game.
It was,
and like you were saying, on the train with all those enemies, you know, I'm glad you said it's a 50-50 split with that and the world building, because you come to love and appreciate those breaks in the action because it's high stakes, like you said, and it's so intense. And you know, when enemies
you can
are
see the worry and fear in all of the NPCs' eyes in the cutscenes about like, this is a dangerous thing you're doing. And not only that, but like, you know, we're Blaskowitz, we're sending you on this part of the mission. These other people in the room, they all got to do stuff too. Like, they're gonna not gonna be here waiting, sewing, and playing like solitaire until you get back. Like, they're gonna go do their missions, and so you might get a supply that they got for you, or you might hear on radio that they're doing something while you're doing something else. Sacrifices made on your behalf in New Order. That my jaw was on the floor. I mean, the moments to happen where you just like instantaneously characters were gone and like, oh, okay, I didn't know that part of the mission was gonna happen. And so interesting to see like how they bring the stakes up. And tonally, I love everything that we've seen so far.
Yeah, did you have any
absolutely beautiful game?
Did you have any
runs
choose
so well.
options? Because that was in New Order. You know, choose who you wanna.
Yeah, no, just straight action, baby. Straight action. A very linear section, but it's situational awareness is very important in that game. You can't have people sneak up behind you because like all of your ammo and your armor and your health, you're picking all that stuff up manually. So if you pick, you're like, I just got full health, and then you use 2 wrong shotgun hits, or like you accidentally like, you know, I was like, oh, what's in this box? And I used my shotgun, and of course there's a bomb in it, and it blows me up. So yeah, it was tough. It was fun, like looking down the line of computers and seeing the loading screen after death, and seeing people like, just like picking up their phone, like, okay, gotta go back in. Like we all had trouble with this one.
Excellent.
So it's not messing around. It's you know, you're not just gonna run around and kill Nazis easy peasy. It's a challenge.
Bethesda, man, not messing around. Evil Within's a tough game too.
Yeah,
there's serious business
difficulty
over there.
Some rough games coming out of Bethesda, but love what I see. Hopefully, it didn't spoil too much for you. Hopefully, you're still excited. And wanted to talk about the first demo too, because the first time I captured it, so I wanted to show people at home a little bit of that first level as well. So yeah, I've only just seen 2 little tiny bits of Wolfenstein, but definitely excited. Coming out in a couple months on October 27th. I know you are super excited. We'll probably arm wrestle for who's going to review that one. Well, you're going to be.
That's
you'll
a busy
probably
month.
be done with Evil Within by then. But
I don't know. There's so many games that month. It's going to be whoever's free, really. You know, I'm not going to complain.
So if you didn't play New Order, it seems pretty continuous. It might be something you want to check out. Maybe you can discount on that to play New Order.
Absolutely.
Sounds like Uncharted Lost Legacy. Like you know, maybe play on your own.
Could be standalone.
Definitely, you might want to check that out too. Certainly the first mission. Like it just jumps right back into it.
Or if you want to just play even Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, there was an expansion, The Old Blood.
But
check that out.
If you played either of those or both and liked them, everything I'm seeing out of New Colossus so far is just, is that I like that, and more of that and that. So I'm very excited to check it out. Thanks for chatting with me, Huber.
Yep.
Thank you.